Check, check, check.
We're rocking and rolling.
Are we here? Do you have is one of your eyes, am I just noticing?
What?
One of your eyes, like, crossed?
Get the fuck out of here.
My name is Jason. I own Deadwood Custom Cycles, and I would love to give you a tour of the shop. I can say, confidently that I believe that we are the premier motorcycle shop in the Black Hills. Whether that be from our inventory of parts that we store, the service work that we do, to the fabrication that we do, the machine work that we do. We're just as happy doing a rear tire change or doing oil as opposed to building a full frame up custom bike. In other words, we're never gonna be too proud to change your oil on your, on your Softail. I opened Deadwood Custom Cycles in 2018. I knew a shop would make it in Deadwood if it was just in the right place with the right people, the right location. And I found this building and I fell in love with it. And I just said, we're gonna go for it. And it's kind of been WFO since, we opened the doors. So come with me, talk about the showroom here for a second. This building is what we call the Gallows Building. This plot of land used to be in the early days of Deadwood, the late 1870s, early 1880s is where they hung people.
Huh?
But anyway, we're a used motorcycle dealership, so we bring in a lot of bikes on consignment. People that are wanting to sell their bikes, we put them out here on the showroom. We have some more in the back. We want to just help out the locals, we want to give them a way that they don't take it into shorts if they go to, trade it in or try to sell it to a dealership. I can tell you that nothing gets to the Black Hills and specifically to Deadwood, South Dakota fast, ever, So if you want to get the jobs done, you got to have stuff in stock. So we end up stocking a lot more inventory. That also makes it easier for our locals. They come in and they need a Clockworks flare windshield, or they need, custom seat, things like that. Chances are we're probably going to already have it in stock. The bikes you see here were all built or rebuilt by us, owned by people that move on to another bike. So they want to sell this one. We've got 3 SRTs in a row, what we call Steamroller Touring. Pretty much the best handling touring bike you'll ever have. The kit was designed by my good buddy Paul Yaffe. You can see we have a Street Glide, we have a Road King, and we have a Road Glide that are all SRTs. So we put a 7-inch cut in the neck, we rake it out, then there's 7 more degrees in the trees. It's a proprietary 20-inch front wheel from Bagger Nation, almost 180 millimeter wide front tire. What happens is you get a perfect trail measurement and what we refer to as zero compromise. Right? With zero compromise with the SRTs, you don't have to cut out the fender, you don't have to cut out the cowbells, you don't have to put travel limiters to limit your suspension. You have a perfect trail measurement, so the bike handles literally like an absolute dream. A lot of bikes here that, we didn't really have a hand in, we didn't do a lot of work on, all except for this right here, which is a 2000 FXR4. I bought this bike a couple months back. It's no secret that I'm a big FXR guy. One of my dream bikes has always been the FXR4. It's the last FXR that Harley Davidson ever produced. They made this model, which in my humble opinion is the greatest Harley Davidson model ever made. It was Harley's first attempt at a factory custom. They created their Screaming Eagle line, or their custom vehicle operations. They brought back the FXR, and this is one of them that was, again, a first attempt at Harley doing custom bikes kind of from the factory. At any given time, there's no horizontal space in the shop because it's always full of motorcycle parts. This is a big, elaborate makeover we're doing. We've had some hiccups, we've had some roadblocks, some things kind of throw us a twist, but we get through them. And now we're ready to finally send everything off to powder coat and paint. Paint's gone out. This stuff's going over to powder coat. Get all done with fresh, custom, unique colors. That's what's kind of neat if you look at some of the bikes you see around here. When I first started my shop, everything was about chrome, right? Chrome, 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 chrome it out, chrome it out. And then we entered the age of what I call custom colors, which is super exciting. We're doing these these golds and this brass and the bronze and these blues and all just these unique colors of powder coating. That's the whole point of a Harley Davidson anyway, is to make it unique, make it special, make it one of a kind, make it like your bike and it's like nobody else's bike out there. So it's just really an exciting time, you know, to be a bike builder and do all this unique stuff. So bring you back to where the magic happens here. This is it. You're in the motorcycle mecca of Deadwood. This is our service bay right here. I mean, pretty much at any given time, we have between 70 and 85 projects in the shop. And we're gonna show you, you know, a good majority of them. This Softail right here that we did a makeover after it was wrecked. And then our goal after the rider was on it and ran into a mountain lion, you know, we had to get it back to all its glory with a few updates and improvements and changes. This is a full motor build off a 2001 Road King going on over here. The flywheels went to lunch meat, and then we could have just fixed it as it is, but instead a customer decided to go with 4 3/8 stroke flywheels and a 107 big bore kit and headwork and all the goodies, and take it from just a nice 88 cubic inch, you know, slow roller to a little bit of a performance oriented. Here you see an SRT in the early stages. This bike is not going to look anything like this, of course, when we're done with it. It started with tearing off the front end, raking the neck, that 7 degrees I talked about with the SRTs, and then we put it all back together. We take it as like this unicycle up to the painter, and then they paint it factory match. And now we're going to assemble the front end, and then we're going to go onto the back end and clean it up and getting everything back to what it needs to be. This right here, another motor build. A gentleman from Nebraska has become kind of a friend. One of his lower crankcase bearings went out and he brought it to us. And so full motor rebuild. Engine came out, split the cases, new flywheels, bored the cylinders over, high compression pistons, headwork, cam chest kit, literally, you know, all the goodies, because this guy's a rider. Like, he gets on his bike with his dog and rides the heck out of it. This is my personal ride, 2015 Road Glide, 107 motor, just the way I like it. No chrome, a lot of black. We're gonna do new fenders, putting a set of heads on it. That's kind of just like, I call that a pair of work boots. You know, it's just like a daily rider, but it's custom enough to where, you know, you don't feel, I don't know, like embarrassed to ride a stock bike, because stock bikes suck. This is a 1958 Duo Glide. If you know the history of Harley Davidsons, you know, it started out as ELs and FLs, and then when they went to front suspension, they called it the Hydra Glide because it had hydraulic front end on it. And then in 1958, they put suspension on the rear on all the big twins, and they called it the Duro Glide. This classic, iconic Harley Davidson is in our care and custody for just a couple days until it goes back to Scott's Gallery. This in here, we now affectionately call the Monkey Bar. The Monkey Bar is only open during the month of August. And as you can see, for the other 11 months out of the year, it serves as a place where we can safely put paint and powder coat and chrome so it doesn't get scratched up. But during the annual Black Hills Rally that goes on every year, this is just hopping. We do live music, we have a bartender, we sell beer and South Dakota wine. People get to go sit outside. We call it the front row to the shit show. Provide this, you know, not just a motorcycle shop, but a place that people can come, have a beer, chill out, you know, maybe sit down and watch while their oil change gets done, or, you know, things like that. This is our parts room right here. It's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. There's shit everywhere. We have at times more stuff than we have space for, but we have a bin location for everything. Everything's cataloged. I'm constantly riding Diamond's ass, telling him to, you know, get that stuff up to date, get it in inventory, get it squared away. But this is just kind of a never-ending process, right? Like no matter how hard you try to keep all this stuff organized and squared away, it just keeps growing. This right here is what we call the secret stash. This is my personal stash of parts that nobody knows about, hence the name Secret Stash. And I'm not even gonna open it for you because I don't even want to show it to you. But this is where we keep secret private parts that don't get used, aren't for sale. I come across at a swap meet and I grab it and I tuck it away in here, but the secret stash shall not be utilized at any given time. Although it's not really that big of a secret because pretty much everybody knows where the secret stash is. This is probably my favorite part of the shop is our fab area. And there's just so much going on here at any given time. Dyno over here, where it's like a treadmill for motorcycles, measure horsepower and torque. We got the red rocket up there that we did some work on not that long ago, 2024 Lowrider ST. My biggest sense of pride in the shop is the fab area. In essence, I have three machines really. I have my Cadillac lathe that is just so perfect for so many things, but basically anything that spins on an axis, we can make it into something. Then this is a Enco mill. It just allows for precision and being able to make, you know, a dozen different things. You know, it's one of the few machines in the world they say they can make itself. And then I have my Smithy 3-in-1 machine over there, which is in some ways serves phenomenal as just a very, very pinpoint accurate drill press. But then it's also kind of a really good jeweler's lathe too. It serves to where making brass parts and aluminum stuff on this, it's a great little machine. When it comes to, you know, the American V-twins, when it comes to motorcycles, fabrication is just, it's in the blood, right? It's in the culture. And so people just don't want what everybody else has. They want a one-off, one-of-a-kind, nothing's been made like that before. Well, then this is where we make it. I'm very, very, very blessed. You know, we've created this, you know, from nothing. And to be able to do this work, to be able to build bikes in this town, in a town of 1,200 people in the middle of South Dakota where, you know, it snows 5 months out of the year, and to be able to live your dream and build bikes for a living, I mean, I just can't think of a better way to live or a better reason to get up for work every day.
That's how I feel about you.
Oh, shut up. Like and subscribe if you know what's good for you.